All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you, just like me. So Wolfgang Van Halen is canceling some concert dates, and guess why he's canceling them? Now, this hasn't happened in a little while, or I've stopped observing this stuff, even though I'm supposed to be an observer, right? I'm tired of observing this one, because what I do when I observe this particular issue is I give it weight, I give it credence, I give it legs to continue to basically be this never-ending problem, which it appears. I was talking again with smart people, including my wife, and we were saying how they just don't want to end this. The news, they just don't want to let this go. But, I remember we had that State of the Union speech, right? In Congress, they all show up and you could see everybody's face and they're all smiling, they're hugging, they're laughing. And there were people in that room, I can guarantee you, that didn't go to CVS. They wouldn't go to CVS anyway. They'd probably have someone show up at their mansion or wherever they live to do the dirty deed. So in any event, it seemed as though we were passing the baton. We were switching gears. We were going from a war on pathogens to a war on Russians, literally overnight. And that's what happened. But out in the concert world, Mammoth WVH, a name that I'm starting to like less and less as time goes on, have canceled 6 of their remaining shows. Now, Wolfgang Van Halen was at the Grammy Awards because he was nominated for, I think, at least 1 Grammy, maybe more than 1, I don't know. But he was there, and he says, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm taking these tests all the time, and I'm passing the test. Okay. In other words, he's not testing the wrong way. He's testing the correct way. And it's just kind of weird that the people who say, and I'm assuming, right, and this is this is an assumption on my part, and you have to kind of read into all of these articles a little bit about what they're saying. But I'm assuming that everybody in the entourage has done the CVS, Walgreens. They've done the protocol. They've trusted in the little emperor. And he's been out there lately too, talking about how this could all come back in, I don't know, 2 days if we wanted to. If we, the government and the media and the medical industrial complex, if we want this to come back, we can just bring it right back. So that's disturbing, but it's not surprising. So if you had tickets for a Charlotte show on April the 6th, which is actually today, North Carolina, April 8th, Nashville, April 9th, Dothan, Alabama, April 10th, Orlando, April 12th, or April 10th and 12th in Orlando, refunds are available at the point of purchase for anyone who purchased a ticket to see Mammoth WVH. Dirty Honey, by the way, will still perform at the scheduled dates as advertised. Interesting. So I'd rather go see Dirty Honey. I would. I know a lot of people who agree with me there, but there are a lot of people who don't even know who the heck Dirty Honey are, which is very disturbing because they're an authentic rock band. And I like the Wolfie stuff, but to me, it sounds like 90s alternative rock with some pop tendencies, power pop. I don't know. It's different, and it's not bad. It's better than a lot of the stuff that's on the radio right now. However, if I'm looking for some Aerosmith, Black Crowes, Humble Pie kind of stuff, Dirty Honey is the way to go. So here's the rest of the story. Wolfie says, I flew back yesterday to meet up with my band and crew in North Carolina to continue the Young Guns tour. This morning, as everyone took tests to reestablish the bubble, they had to reestablish the bubble that has served us on the tour. We came to find maybe they should be living in a bubble. These people the insanity. All right. So if this is so effective, why is this still happening? Well, Dave, it doesn't guarantee that you're not going to get it. It guarantees that you'll be fine at the end of it all, according to where this has all gone. And, I have some strong feelings about this. However, I've kind of backed off on this lately because it's all these things that we're supposed to be caring about. We're supposed to care about Ukraine. We're supposed to care about doing the thing and taking your extra thing. And if you're a certain age, you can get another thing and keep going over and over. 4 months. I don't know if it's wearing off and you need another one in 4 months. I've never heard anything like this. Never since they started doing this 100 years ago, right? I've never heard of anything like this. So it just seems a little bit much, but you have to keep up with the propaganda, and they keep throwing it at you. A lot of people, they did it a couple of times and are like, you know what, that's enough. I'm not doing it anymore. Anyway, he tested negative for the last 5 days in preparation for the Grammys, and he is still continuing to do so. With only 6 shows left in the tour, Wolfie says it breaks his heart that we unfortunately won't be able to continue. Mammoth WVH will do our very best to make up the dates that we missed to the fans in those markets in the future. So, again, it's just really strange that it's in the entourage. So it's in the people who probably set up the show or do the merch tables or whatever it is. It's based, or I don't know, maybe it's a guitar tech. We don't know the extent, but the whole thing gets canceled. And we are literally just a couple of days from those shows. So if there's nothing to worry about, right? Why is this a risky venture if there's nothing to worry about? Just go out there. I mean, people keep telling me, oh, well, it would it was so mild and I got through it. So why are we canceling dates? I mean, if you test for something, right, and it's not this, but you're ill, okay, the same criteria could apply. You could say, okay, well, I didn't test for that, but because I tested for that specifically, we're gonna cancel it. But if I test for something else, people are gonna, don't worry about it. But I'm really not feeling well. Well, but it's not the other thing. So we can continue, right? Or maybe you can stay home, right? But we'll continue to do what we're doing because it isn't this specific problem. The logic of all of this is painstakingly annoying. And it's just, as time goes on and as people realize, they think to themselves, all of a sudden they can turn this on, turn it off. That I'm talking about, like the news coverage, the hysteria, the constant like browbeating of people who don't share, because this is a belief system. This is a belief system more than it's anything else. It's like a religion, like I said, during the height of all of this. And who knows, they could bring this back in a week or two, in a month, and then we're back to where we were before. And the concert industry, by the way, is ramping up for the summer. There are a lot of really decent shows that are happening all over the country. And, you can only do so much to mitigate. If this thing lands on you and you get it, then the whole thing gets shut down. And whether you've done the thing or not, in a lot of cases, people don't even realize, the extent of either what they think they might have. They don't give it a lot of thought, but because it's always in the news and it's created all this fear, what happens is people are just worried. It's almost like bad PR at this point. It's like, oh, really? Oh, we have to shut it down. Or even after you lectured us about all this stuff. And again, all these people come out and say, I'm so glad I did this because I'm fine. Even though I was doing reports last year about people were saying, I've never been more ill or more sick in my entire life, and I'm so glad I did this. I was like, huh? That's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? But nobody picks that up. Everybody just sits there and goes, yeah, trust it. Trust the little emperor. I'm so glad he's still on TV, telling it like it is and sticking it to those crazy people, those skeptics, right? So anyway, if you got tickets for Wolfgang Van Halen, you can get a refund at the point of purchase. And that's the story. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Patreon, just $1 a month, and I will see you soon.